Hello, I'm here to do my check-in for day 7. Today was my active rest day, and you know, I thought I was gonna like do a bath and all these other things, but when it came down to it, all I really wanted to do to treat myself was sleeping really late. So I did that, and I'm gonna do a little restorative yoga before I go to bed. That's going to be kind of my movement for the day. I just want to keep it nice and easy. My soreness is diminished, so I feel good about moving into tomorrow. I won't be kind of like struggling through that muscle soreness that I did with my last workout on day 6. So that's definitely positive. I think my bananas helped with that. I really do think the bananas help a lot. Really been enjoying the food I've been eating. I'm really glad I stocked up. I'm feeling really well nourished. I noticed today that I had more of an appetite than I usually do. So I'm taking that as a really good sign that, my digestion's revving up, my metabolism is revving up, and my body's needing that nourishment, to build the muscle. So I think everything's moving along very well, and it all feels really positive to me. And I'm very excited to step into the next week. And as I said on my last video, tomorrow I will be taking my waist measurement, but I just wanted to add some clarification around that, because I know that I had said that I'm not really focusing on the physical results. But the reason why I am going to take a waist measurement is because having a waist, and I did get the specific measurements, it's 35 inches and under for a woman, 40 inches and under for a man is considered out of the danger zone as far as, being susceptible to heart disease and diabetes. So that's pretty important. Heart disease runs really heavily in my family, diabetes as well, but heart disease is really a primary concern. My father had a major bypass surgery about 10 years ago, and it was a really big scare for the whole family. And actually on my father's side, all of his siblings, 6 of them, have all had heart issues, anything from having stents put in to full-on bypasses. Some have had heart attacks. And even my cousin, who's my age, had heart issues. So, when my father went in for his bypass, the surgeon did take me and my brother and my sister aside and said, hey, you guys have this thing called lynching syndrome in your genetics. And lynching syndrome is when there's such a, propensity to develop heart disease, or it can be anything. It can be diabetes, it can be cancer. It's when there's such a strong genetic link that, it's so important for you to be on with your health care, your self-care, your fitness, because even with taking all the precautions, you could still develop, these issues. Now, I'm not going to so much buy into all of that. I believe that there's a lot you can do with preventative care, but getting my waist to a really healthy place, and I'm very close to it now, but getting my waist to that healthy place is something that is very important to me for that reason. That being said, I said I wasn't going to focus on the numbers, and I'm not being contradictory about that. I will share how much I saw an improvement, but I'm not going to give the number as far as like how many inches my waist is or anything of that nature. It's more just for me, to know that I'm getting to that place where I'm moving out of that susceptibility to have problems when I already have such a strong genetic disposition towards those issues, right? And then once my waist reaches that place where, okay, I'm in the healthy range, I won't be taking my measurements again until, you know, I finally landed in the place where I'm like, okay, my body's in its happy place. I feel healthy. Now I'll take my ending measurements. And at that point, I will share everything with you guys, okay? I'll share my before and after pictures. I did take all my starting measurements. I didn't do weight. I'm not going to be able to give you weight. I don't step on a scale, but I'll give you all those stats when the time is right. So I just wanted to clarify that. So there wouldn't be any kind of like, well, wait a minute. She said she wasn't going to focus on the physical. There's a reason why I'm looking at the waist specifically. It's the only measurement that's really important to me because it's such a precursor to developing issues that I'm really susceptible toward with my genetics. So that's what that's about. So I am excited to see, you know, if I've moved more to that healthy place. And I have a feeling that I'm going to be pleased with what I see. I'm definitely seeing a lot of differences when I look in the mirror. I'm seeing some actual muscle definition coming out already, which is pretty wild. Just on my abs, it's kind of shocking, you know. It really is, just for a week. It's really kind of surprising to me. And, you know, my clothes are looser and I've noticed those changes. So I know movement is happening. I know that I am releasing fat. I'm toning up. And I've noticed a lot of improvement in my cardiovascular conditioning, you know. I just feel like I have better endurance and I can just do everyday things even at a higher level, you know, and feel very supported. So all of it's really feeling good to me. I have nothing but positive things to say at this point, you know, and I know right now I'm fresh on the journey, right? So when you first get started with anything, there's always that like kind of initial enthusiasm and everything feels great, but I know that, you know, there might be bumps down the road and when those come, you know, I will be honest about those challenges too and share that authentically with all of you. But despite any challenges, I'm just going to keep going and stick with it. And I've really decided just to make a commitment to let Chloe Ting be my guide on this journey to get me where I need to go. I'm feeling really supported by her. I'm feeling really supported by her positive attitude. I feel like she challenges me in a healthy way. And I'm just feeling like I'm in a really good, solid, balanced place with all of it. So that's pretty much all I have to report for today. I'm just excited to move into another week. And my main goal for this week is just to continue to grow within the exercise and continue to improve my endurance, my strength, and my agility and those transitions, you know. I am starting to see improvement with the transitions, which is really cool, you know, to be able to just go from the standing, you know, exercises down to the floor work, you know, down to those like the side work, you know, with those side planks and stuff and all the oppositional movements, which is so good. It's so good to do all that like opposite leg, opposite arm kind of motion. That's very like functional fitness, you know. It's so important. And I've noticed that just in doing like everyday things, like doing the deep cleaning around the house and, you know, everything. I'm much more conscious about the way I'm moving my body, the way I pick things up. Yeah, my body's just feeling so much more supported. So I'm really looking forward to continuing to improve that and to see my athleticism increase. So all of that is going really good for me. I think I'm just going to wind up tonight with, you know, doing some restorative yoga, and I might tune into YouTube and watch an ASMR, you know, relaxation video, get a little healing from Silver Hair. If you haven't checked out Silver Hair, he's awesome. He's helped me out through a lot of really stressful times. He does these really great, very unique ASMR videos where it's like you're having a healing session with him. And his whole demeanor is just very soothing, and but not in a cheesy way. Not in a cheesy way. It's like sitting with a friend who really cares about you, and just wants to help, you let it all go and relax. So I do that a lot to just manage my stress. And I do want to speak to that for, especially women that are in their 40s and up. It's so important just hormonally for you to make sure you're managing your stress, because that also can keep, the weight around your middle. If you got elevated cortisol, because you're stressed out and your nervous system is fried, like you'll find you have a hard time releasing weight. So a lot of things change in your body once you enter your 40s. It's a whole different ball game, okay? It's not like it was when you were in your 20s, When you're in your 20s, it's super easy to, shed a few pounds or whatever, trim down, whip yourself into shape fairly quickly. At least it always was for me. But, in the 40s, it's definitely been more of a balancing act, and having to look at all these different pieces. And the stress component, I can't tell you how important the stress component is to have your body release the weight once you get into, those 40s. It's definitely like so pivotal, so pivotal. So good adaptogens, something that can just support you. Ashwagandha is really good from an Ayurvedic perspective, or any of the ginsengs are great too, just for providing that adrenal support and making sure you're getting good quality sleep, that you have some type of relaxation practice, whether that's meditation or yoga, or even just taking some time to sit and be in nature and do some deep breathing and feel the gratitude for the gift of your life, and counting your blessings, I think is really key, and is something that can't be ignored, once you're in your middle-aged years, So I'm going to wind down my evening in that way, give myself that gift of balance, and just preserve this really good feeling I have. And my nervous system is feeling really supported with all the exercise. I feel like it's like releasing a lot of tension for me, and I've been sleeping really good, and yeah, it's just all been wonderful. So not a lot to report today really, but just wanted to check in, wanted to stick with my plan to touch base every day. And maybe at some points I'll only have a like, hey, I did today and I'm done. See you later. But right now, I do have some things to share, and I'm sure more will come in as well. But it's more for the accountability for me, and I hope that those of you that are following along, that it's giving you some support too. And yeah, have a beautiful night, and I'll see you tomorrow after I get that next workout in, and I'll tell you how it goes. All right, check in soon.